This feels weird. We're in person. Good evening, I'd like to call the April 28th, 2022 North Bend Planning Commission to order at 7:01. First, we'll start with the commissioner roll call. Scott? He's here.
All right. Yes, I'm here.
Olivia?
Present.
And Mr. Bulgia.
Present.
All right, and so we have a quorum, there's 4 of us here. As you guys, probably most of you know, Judy is gone now. She moved a couple days ago. And so unfortunately, we didn't have a goodbye for her, but I'm sad that she's gone. Hopefully she'll come back and like visit us one of these days. Let's record note that Gary is absent, he's excused. And we'll start off with public comment of non-agenda items. We'll open that at 7:02. Being that there's nobody here, oh wait, we do have someone.
I'll play public. I just wanted to stop in as I had an opportunity just to say hello and thank you all in person, or unfortunately by video conference. For the work you're doing, and yes, I know that you're down a couple of members, and we are taking action next week to rectify that for you. Scott, certainly want to recognize your long service here and appreciate that. On top of a full career of planning, you're just about planned out to the top of your head, I'm sure. And so I wanted that to be on the record and hear that. Olivia, I hear you got called in for an emergency today.
I did,
Wow,
yeah.
pretty cool to also though be able to make the meeting.
Yeah.
That's something. And thank you for agreeing to continue. So looking forward to doing that. James, the same for you. Appreciate you being willing to go another round for us and hang in there. You guys are doing incredible work. I know you've been working through quite a variety of interesting things so far, and another one on your plate tonight. And we just want to make sure that you know that it's being observed, it's being noticed, and we appreciate it. A lot of thoughtful, heavy lifting. And so, Susan, appreciate you taking over and leading this group. Good luck with that. You got some fine staff people here supporting you. I think, Mike, you probably broke me in, didn't you? Which one of us made the planning commission first, me or you?
Oh, planning commission.
Yeah, for the planning commission, I'm thinking, was I already on when? No, you were already staff when I came on to planning commission.
Yeah,
right?
when I the very first
Parks.
came here, you were in Parks.
I was on Parks, that's right. Yes, yes.
And I was thinking way back when we sat on the opposite sides.
On the opposite,
Before the planning commission
yes.
meetings.
Yes, many a night we were on the opposite sides of the table in another city we won't talk about.
Right around the old Union Hall and close to the meeting venue.
Oh my goodness, yes, some days they've got pretty warm. Certainly. That's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna get out of your hair so you can conduct business. Thank you again, appreciate it. Olivia, I hope it's an easy shift.
It must have been
It's all done now.
Address, right?
Oh, Mayor McFarland, City Hall.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
You want it open? You guys.
Leave it open for public comments, yeah. All right, we'll now close the non-agenda item time period. It is 7:05. All right, next on the agenda, we're going to approve our March 24th, 2022 Planning Commission minutes. If you guys have a moment, take a look at your minutes. Do you have any comments? Or does it look okay?
It was such a long time ago, but I didn't see anything that stood out that wasn't okay.
Just have it revised anyway, right? Yeah.
Yes, for the revised sent out would be we would ask for the motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 24th as revised.
Okay, there's been a motion, is there a second?
I'll second
Okay.
it.
Olivia beat me to it.
All right, Olivia has seconded it, and the chair calls for a vote on the motion? I'll
Aye.
say
Aye.
Aye, okay, the ayes have it. Okay, so today we're gonna review the proposed amendment, to chapter 2011 regarding termination of land use applications. Sounds like basically it's creating a process for abandoned applications because they're just hanging out all the time.
Yes, basically it creates a process that when people submit an application but they get their corrections, or they submit a complete application, I should say. They submit a complete application and then they decide not to move forward with it for whatever reason, whether they felt that our comments were, they didn't like our comments, or they just don't have the funds at the moment, instead of it just sitting open. This gives us an opportunity to close it without having to have them physically withdraw the application, allows us to create a closing date. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen because we are proposing an amendment to the last section in here. So one of the things that kind of came up in multiple places on questions is the sentence that says, any new land use application submitted pursuant to this section shall vest to the NBMC in effect at the time of the new submittal. There's two questions, I read it and wrote it with the legal in the terms of shall vest per the NBMC. Other people thought it might be when you submit, you vest, and not all projects vest at submittal, and then someone even commented complete submittal. So it already says in the previous sentence that our new application is required to be submitted consistent with the provisions contained with the NDMC in effect at the time of resubmittal. So we felt that actually covered the same thing we were trying to get out of the second sentence. So we're just recommending completely deleting the sentence to not have to worry about it. We're already saying a new submittal is consistent with our municipal code, whether it's vesting, whether it's regulations, whatever it is, that it's covered already. I don't really have much more to add, so I'd be happy to answer any questions.
What does the process look like now? So without this, what you have is,
It sits there.
it just sits there. So
It could stay
everything
vested
after-
for 3 years for that, technically.
So, but do they have, are you reaching out to them and saying, hey, are you doing anything? And then waiting for them to say.
Yeah, usually what we end up doing is doing it kind of through the deposit process. Be like, it doesn't seem like you're moving forward. Do you want to request refund of your deposit in a sense of withdrawing your application? With this, we can just refund the money and deem the application as abandoned.
Okay,
And do they get notified?
yeah,
Yes, it doesn't require it, so if we found an application that didn't get done 2 years ago, 2 years from now or 2 years ago, that it never got closed out, we can still rely on this. It doesn't require notification, but that is the intent, that we will notify, because obviously we want to refund the money too. We don't want the money sitting on the books if the application is no longer valid.
Should we have it in the rules saying we're gonna notify them?
That runs into an issue that if for some reason someone misses notifying, you've got a project that vests for possibly, again, 2 or 3 years. So that's why you usually leave that out. It's their responsibility to, know the code and know what's required. It's something we can probably add to our application,
yeah, I was gonna say,
information and things like that, so that it's listed in the application, and we can even include it in pre-application letters, so that they know that they have 6 months to turn around reviews, basically 180 days. Some cities some cities is 60 days.
Yeah.
So we've made it so that there's plenty of time, and the other reason is we also aren't going to be, we don't want to be malicious, we don't want to be like, oh, you're 6 months out, sorry, you have to resubmit. If we're in contact with them and if we're working with them, we don't plan on doing it, and that's why we kind of, put it where it's, we can get a letter, or we, create a schedule so that we can keep them active if it is a project that's expected to still continue forward.
This is based on experience of problems.
Yes.
That's what I-
And then what happens is your code winds up changing, and they may or may not vest to that new code, and so suddenly you've got different codes
whole building at the same time, even, because one delayed it for 2 years.
And so they
another
get to
for-
invest with the code when they signed up.
Yes, so
Depending
certain
on
types
the
of
type.
applications vested a complete application. And if we don't have a process to cut it off, then it stays vested.
Okay, I think it sounds like a good idea to, in the application, make sure that that's written, just so people know, take action.
Yeah, and we have also what's called a pre-application review, where we notify applicants of, these are the codes that you're gonna need to follow in submitting an application. And this is probably something that we'll add to that letter, just so it's very obvious from the start.
Yeah.
You gotta take action, or you're gonna potentially start.
Scott or Olivia, do you guys have anything you wanna add?
I'm glad you guys gave out some reasons as to why, because I was reading this and I was wondering like what really is like the helpful point of all this. So it would be to get the money off the books, and then so that they're not vested in an old code. That's kind of been the problems that we've been encountering.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know from my professional career, this has always been a problem unless there's a code to address it. So I looked at it and thought this made 100% sense. So glad to see it.
The other issue is it's a waste of staff time. If someone takes a year to submit, we pretty much have to start the review over. If they can
Right.
submit within a few months, we have the documents and remember, and can just move forward instead of trying to go back and look at the whole history of the
Yeah.
project.
Right.
Okay. Well, anybody else have any more questions? I think we probably can put a motion forward if someone would like to.
Yeah, Rebecca, what page number is it on? So I can read it.
It is on page 6,
Okay,
and all you have to do is add at the end as amended.
I'm scrolling. I'm sorry. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I guess I can't find it. So someone else wants to do
So
it.
it's page 6 of the overall packet, but then it's page 3 of the staff report.
Well, it's right at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, right at the top, second item is meeting date, proponent, staff recommendation on page 6 of the PDF. First page of the staff report.
Staff recommendation. Okay, so start at the motion. Okay.
So I have a question, and maybe you already went through this and I was reading something over. Is a public hearing required on this?
So I apologize, that was supposed to be part of my discussion point, is this item technically doesn't even need to come to the planning commission. It is not a development standard, so it doesn't require a public hearing. It doesn't require commerce review. This could technically go straight to council, but I wanted to get your guys' input because it's more of a process. It is more of a process, but I feel it's related enough that I wanted your guys' input and discussion on it before moving forward. So no, a public hearing is not required.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I found it, so I can make it unless anybody has any questions. Okay, I'd like to recommend a motion. I'd like to make a motion to recommend that city council approve the proposed ordinance adding NBMC chapter 20.11 termination of land use applications as revised.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. And let's vote on it.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I'm the fourth aye. It passes.
Awesome.
Okay, do we have any other things we want to talk about?
We don't have an item as of right now for the May 12th, so I don't know if Scott, you'd like to talk as your last meeting? Because I doubt we need the May 12th at this point. We will have the
Yay!
but
Party at Scott's house.
Party at my house, yeah. No, thanks. Thanks, everybody. I've had a good time the past 4 years trying to help make North Bend a better place. And, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not moving to Gig Harbor or anywhere like that. So I will be around. I'm sure I'll be seeing all of you at various places around town. And yeah, thanks for having me for the past 4 years.
It's really been a pleasure. You're very thoughtful, and I really appreciate your careful analysis of things. So what I was
Thank
going
you.
to say though is there's a requirement for retiring planning commissioners that continue to live in North Bend, that they stay involved in the public process now from the other side.
Well, we'll see about that.
You can stick to written comments positive in our favor.
There you
don't
go,
have to
yeah.
come. Just write comments, send an email.
Yeah, boiler, form letter.
Yeah, exactly. I support item.
Yeah, blank,
Two.
fill in the blank.
I don't know what 2 is. but
No, I'm
I
just
support
saying.
it.
Mhm.
So are you gonna be at the block party?
I don't know yet.
Okay, darn. I figured I'd see you at the block party. I think it's in July.
Probably. You'll probably come by the farmer's market in June. You'll see me every Thursday.
Okay, yeah.
You're going to be there every week?
Right now, that's the plan, unless we, if we have a vacation or something that comes up. But yeah, that's every week.
Yeah.
Can I come with planning commission questions? Are you open to consults?
Yeah, sure. Sure. Hey, that could be another career, planning commission consultant.
The pay's good.
Yeah, right.
I will let you know that one of the new planning commissioners is a former city planner
Oh, cool.
For what city?
in Utah.
Nice.
Very cool. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the commission. I know I've enjoyed talking with you about different things, even about wine.
Thanks, Susan. I really like helping people understand what this is all about. And sometimes it's not real clear, but I always believe in educating people rather than just like taking my opinion and saying that that's the way it is. Let's talk about why it's that way and see if we can have a dialogue on it. So I appreciate the dialogue with this commission and even with some of the commissioners that were on when I first joined. Some were questioned, how do I put it? So some had their minds made up pretty much coming into the meeting, and it was very difficult at times to try to have that conversation with them. But I think this is a really good group.
Planning Commission has got some weighty stuff in the year ahead with comp plan updates and looking at our our land use designations and transportation element, number of things. So having some informed citizen participation would be fantastic.
Fabulous.
Too bad you couldn't come with a bottle of wine today for after the
I know.
And I do have water,
meeting.
no wine.
Okay. Is there anything else? You know something? I was gonna ask something. The North Bend Downtown Foundation recently had a meeting and we were talking about signage for North Bend, like when people come in, so they are directed to downtown.
Directional signage.
Yeah, directional signage and do we have any plans on getting anything like that?
We just did one last year with our Port of Seattle Tourism Grant Fund. These next 2 years, they have different ideas for the fund, but part of that includes an economic development action plan. And we'll see what comes out of that, whether some of I might have additional signage and stuff, but
Yeah.
it is, we do it here and there as funds become available.
Okay, yeah, because I guess we're trying to figure out how to get people downtown and make sure they know they're going the right direction, and like when you have the roundabouts, maybe there needs to be a sign in the middle of it pointing them in the right direction. Go this way to downtown, or that kind of thing. And then the gateways as well, the signage there.
That's kind of, I think, all in the downtown master plan that we're reviving to look at all the priorities
Okay,
as part of the economic development plan.
cool. Okay, well, without any further ado, I suppose we should complete our meeting tonight. We'll complete it at 7:20. That might be our fastest meeting yet.